What's up, guys? This is Ninja on Ninja. It sucks because, just to let you know, I started to upload onto Rumble, but just for the people on Rumble, it was originally Ninja on a Ninja because before I had my stroke and before the brain tumor really set in and really decided to run its course, basically I used to ride a Kawasaki Ninja, and the goal was to make videos and ride and talk to guys like I'm talking to now, but on a motorcycle weaving through traffic, speeding along, you know, just that kind of stuff. But anyways, um, that out of the way, I have a video for you today. Shit, it's philosophical. That's not this video. It's oh. Oh. Don't tell me, dude. Okay, there it is. Phew. Okay. Thank goodness. Holy shit, I was scared for a minute. But anyways, so first off, I just found out that Bret Weinstein is actually related to Eric Weinstein, and I confused them and was gonna go off on a tirade because I am very much against Eric Weinstein and his knowledge and who he is and his education is how he was brought up and blah 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 and how he passes it on to other people. Um, because of what he did to Terrence Howard on the Joe Rogan podcast, number 2171. Um, but overall, we're watching this and listening to this, and your brother, you both are wrong. You both are idiots, and you both need to shut the hell up. And like literally, I should give both of your jobs because you both suck at what you do. So, anyways, there's this debate that happened that I'm gonna go over with you guys. I stopped at 7 minutes and 34 seconds and bailed. So it's a 15-minute thing, but yeah.
You find it shocking. I mean, of course, we all pay lip service to the idea that progress is good and we should be changing all the time, but what if we're right? And so it doesn't necessarily follow that, what people thought in the 1960s and 70s is still largely believed is a bad thing. Maybe it is actually right.
Well, I think this is a very interesting perspective, and it's one that I held too when I was in college.
So when he talks, he has the same kind of aesthetic as his brother. It seems like that's why I thought it was Eric Weinstein right here. I thought this was Eric, but it's Bret. So
I was a student of Robert Trivers, who's a contemporary of Richard's. And as his student, I looked at the landscape of questions, and I felt it wasn't resentment, but I felt some sadness that it looked like Richard and Bob's generation had run the table, and they had solved all of the big issues in evolutionary biology, and that they had left only small issues for us. And
So what that means to me is you were ungrateful, and what you should have done then, instead of diving into the field feeling that way, because then you corrupt it and you become thwarted and blah blah blah, is you should have gone to basketball or something. The point is, you go into something else like I did. I was like, I like basketball. Oh shit. I'm not going to play basketball because there's already a Michael Jordan. So there's no point. Because the point is to be the best. But I can't compete with that. So, okay, football. Oh, I can't play football because of this person. Oh, I can't. You know what I'm saying? And you keep going. So that's why I play League of Legends, and now that's why I used to play Smash Brothers. That's why I play all these games. I became the best at those games. What you did is you picked up a what your brother put down, or your family put down, or whatever, and you're like, "Fuck, there's nothing to do," and you dove in anyways. So that's terrible.
over time, I came to realize that that wasn't the case, that there were major issues left unsettled that
Right.
we had stopped talking about because
The thing was, you and your brother talk like you know, but you don't. That's why you felt the way you did. And then when you looked into it, you're like, oh, it turns out we don't know what the fuck we're talking about when you pretend that you are. But anyways.
there was no progress. And so um, I, I took up looking at those issues and saying, what is it that we have wrong that has caused us to stop making progress on questions like why do females in many species require males to engage in elaborate displays before mating with them? That question is still not answered. There are plenty
I have the answer to that question, by the way. I know the answer.
of ideas on the table, but as for one that we all agree on, nothing has emerged. Why are there
I don't care if you agree with it. I have the answer. This is why they do it. I know because I was an animal too. And I did the same thing. I did the cut. I showed off, okay?
more species when you get closer to the equator and fewer species as you move towards the poles?
That's obvious. The poles are fucking cold. It's hot as hell at the equator, but it's cold at the poles. Like, that's stupid.
Why do we grow feeble and inefficient with age? These are all questions on which some
Because the systems break down.
progress had been made, but that progress seemed to me to have stagnated. So I don't
I don't see how they stagnated.
disagree with you that your generation got an awful lot right, but what I wonder
They stagnated because they got it right. And you disagree because you got into it with a chip on your shoulder. Like I said, you looked at it, there's nothing for me to do, and you dove in anyways. That's the problem.
about is why progress has slowed given the number of large questions that remain, and a related question is why
It slowed because they are trying to say, oh, we have seen the edge of the universe, but at the same time, oh, we discovered an ocean in the earth that we didn't know about. It's like, how do you know what the fuck's at the edge of the universe if you don't know what the fuck's in our earth? What the fuck?
there does not seem to be a generation of biologists that followed you that appear to be working in a way that would allow them to solve big questions in the way that R.A. Fisher had, or you did, or Bob Trivers did. I don't see that generation of biologists that are capable of wielding tools in the bold way that you all managed.
I think then the onus is on you. Let's talk about a particular example, like, say, the sexual selection one you raised, and say, what is it that you think hasn't been, well, obviously you're right, it's still going on, and there's much controversy going on. It's a very flourishing field. There are lots of people working in the field, doing work in the field on sexual selection.
Yeah.
There are two major strands of theory of sexual selection.
Okay.
Perhaps you could just trace them to Fisher on the one hand and, well, Wallace, Zahavi, Hamilton on the other. And they're both very interesting theories. They probably might both work. I mean, what's wrong with that?
It's a great question. Here's what's wrong with it. So what Richard is referring to,
Sounds just like your brother, dude.
and I believe both you and I would come out on the Hamilton side of this argument, and we would both, I would imagine, be advocates for a good genes interpretation.
Well, no, I mean, I would be... Do we need to explain what this is? I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Darwin noticed that many biological and animal characteristics of males especially are apparently advertising to females. Peacock's tails, gorgeous feathers, beautiful
Right.
fish, that kind of thing. And Darwin was content simply to say that's what females like.
Mm-hmm.
It's an aesthetic thing, a matter of female whim. And so in order for a male to reproduce successfully and pass on his genes, he has to be attractive, and therefore genes for being attractive get passed on to the next generation because...
So, I agree with that so far. I don't see the problem.
females choose them. Wallace, the co-discoverer of natural selection, hated that idea.
That's stupid.
Wallace was more of a utilitarian and believed that beautiful characteristics like peacock's tails had to be useful. It wasn't enough just to simply say females love them. You had to say this is somehow an advertisement for a good male, a male who's going to be a good father or a good, who provide good genes. Wallace wouldn't have used that phraseology, of course. And that divide between Darwin and Wallace has persisted from the...
That's weird. Sorry. But, so, that is normal, though. Being a bad father, or being a good father, is normal. Okay. Being a bad father is something that we as humans invented. That isn't something present in the animal kingdom, and the reason why is because good fathers aren't actually a thing. They don't exist in the animal kingdom because most of the time the dad is off doing whatever. Yeah, the dad is off doing whatever. What the hell? I lost it. I lost the place. Doing whatever. The dad is out doing whatever. Anyway, the point is that he has a home and he has kids and he might as well be there. And that's what he does, right? It's stupid to say anything otherwise because that's what it is. Yeah, I should have proofread this shit before I went into it, but the point of all of this is that there's no such thing as good father, bad father, or the dad's gonna be there and provide and blah blah blah. Because in the wild, the dad generally does it, and most of the time it's just the mother. The dad will help with the nest and blah blah blah, and he might help with the feeding blah blah blah. It's mostly the mother though. That's naturally occurring. That's how it was in the human species. We broke from the system, and then we're trying to explain the system, but we broke from the fucking system. Like, it's stupid. Like, it's so fucking dumb. So, anyways, continue.
the 19th century through the 20th century. Wallace felt that to invoke female taste was bordering on mysticism. And Darwin's...
How is it mysticism taste? It's just what's hot and what's not. Like, what's healthy. That's what it is. Like, what I need to pass on my gene, and that guy's healthy. How is that mystical? It's mystical to you because you're a nerd. And to nerds, sexuality is a mystical thing. But to a jock, for example, not so much.
idea there was rescued in the 1920s and 30s by R.A. Fisher, one of the great founders of modern population genetics. And R.A. Fisher made the Darwin theory respectable by allowing female choice to be under genetic control just as much as male anatomy, male tails, etc., are under genetic control. And Fisher produced a model which must have been a mathematical model, although he didn't lay it out in mathematical terms.
Nerd.
It must have been there, in which natural selection simultaneously works on genes in males for being beautiful and genes in females for liking beauty. And when you realize that both baby males and baby females inherit the genes from their father for being beautiful and the genes from their mother for liking beauty.
No, it's not being beautiful and being beauty. That's what you say it is. But again, it's I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm able to do this, what I'm doing. That's what it is. Right? The weak runt of the litter can't fucking pull up his flag because he's a fucking runt of the litter. He ain't gonna have babies. That's what they're looking for. Right? Like, I'm out there waving a flag and doing backflips and shit because I'm healthy. I'm doing push-ups and fucking backflips and shit because I'm healthy. That's what she's looking for. But I'm doing it to show off so she knows I can do it. You understand? It's not mysticism, you fucking old fuck.
Those two go together and can produce something like a peacock's tail. That was the Fisher theory, which is...
Again, the peacock's tail exists for those reasons I laid out already. It's to show that you can. Look what I can do. That's what it is. Look what I can do. damn, that's amazing that you can do that and you're still alive. I want those kids because you reached that point. Anyways,
been brought up to date by modern mathematical biologists. But the Wallace strand of theory, which Bret favors and to some extent so do I, agrees with Wallace that beauty has to be useful and adopts the idea that what a female is doing when she is beautiful is advertising to males what a male is doing when advertising to females is advertising to females, for example, that he's healthy.
You sexist pig. That's the only reason why you mix them up. I hate you. I'm kidding. People will do that though, but understand I'm just joking. But that little what's called that was a slip of the tongue, a Freudian slip, basically, and people can jump on that, and they might. But I'm just joking. But anyways,
that he's strong.
right.
In the extreme version of the theory, due to Amos Zahavi, a male is advertising that he's such a good fit male that he's capable of surviving in spite of having this ridiculous tail.
Right.
Which should have killed him because it's vulnerable to predators, you can't fly very well with it, and so on.
At that point, yes, it's what you said. It's look what I can do. That's all it is.
And less extreme versions of that theory are attributable to W.D. Hamilton, who thought that health was the primary virtue which a male is advertising to females, and a beautiful tail is an advertisement to a female. This is a healthy male.
Yes.
He's not suffering from parasites. He's resistant to parasites.
Maybe.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have this beautiful, glowing, sexy tail.
Okay.
So that was just an interruption because we were talking about the Zahavi Hamilton type theory, which Bret favors. I'm sorry. Okay.
So no, that's perfect, and it actually.
So I actually stopped at 7:34, which is 10 seconds before this point, and what I said was, I'm done. The guy on the right's opinion and his argument and statement is so stupid. Oh, no. I watched, because what he's about to say, I remember now, I watched it, but I backtracked to when he started, so that you can know that my comment was because of what he's saying. So listen to what he's saying.
Shows exactly the point that I was trying to make, which is that you've now heard a lot. There's plenty of good work that suggests that this could be handicap, that would demonstrate the genes have to be heritable in order for females to be favored to be selecting for them. But the problem is that there is a rotten piece of this theory right at the heart, which is that females are choosing to inflict this burden on their male offspring, which is ecologically certain to be costly to them. So
that's when I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nowhere in the world does it say pick a man because he can do a wheelie. They do a wheelie because they're wheelie. It's just showing you look what I can do. So anyways, the guy on the right's opinion and his argument and statement is so stupid that I wanted to slap him. I'm gonna do it this way. He's basically saying that because it's not written down, I cannot accept it, which is actually what a lot of people do who are nerds that tend to be like this. And this is why we get people like Jeffrey Epstein, because they will take the leap when you're busy like, oh well, this is not written down, it's not in the books, it's not why do Willie, it's stupid. Meanwhile Jeffrey Epstein's doing a Willie and all the girls are fucking going to him and you're wondering what the fuck's going on. Why are you gonna inflict that? I'm a nerd, yeah. Meanwhile it's like da, 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 and all the girls are like, yay, and you're wondering what the fuck's going on. That's not the point is where it's like, hey, look at me, I'm dying, and then you should be like, okay, stop, you should, I'm corrupting, or I'm evil, or blah, blah, blah. That's the line, like, okay, that's where you shouldn't date that kind of guy, because he's evil, That's when you draw the line. But you're drawing the line at somewhere stupid, and that's why again this makes no sense. It just got so bad that people like him were accepted because he apparently was so good. But again, that was just compared to the dumbass on stage of this guy who doesn't understand why peacocks are beautiful and why the most attractive males get the attention. And meanwhile, you look at colleges and all you see is football and cheerleaders. The hell is wrong with you? This is supposed to be one of the greatest minds of our day, and he is this idiot. Like, what the fuck is going on? So that was it. That was the whole fucking text and shebang. That was the whole point. Like, he is like, why be beautiful? It counts as a negative. Why do a wheelie? It counts as a negative. But guess what? She's noticing it. You know why? Is because it's not that he can do it, or it's not that he what's it called? He does it. It's that he can do it. I think is the best way to explain it. It's just he's showing. It's not so much like I have these feathers, not because I have these feathers. It's just look what I can do and get away with it. And don't you like that? And she's like, yeah, I really like that. And that kept going, and now it's just fucking, boom, like peacocks are boom. Like what the fuck? That's the point. And you have to be able to sustain that. You have to be able to sustain yourself and be a healthy body, blah, blah, blah. That's the point. And you're like, well, I'm nerds, and it's so stupid, nasally fucking rodent. Like, stop thinking about shit. Sometimes you just gotta fucking go. Just leave, jump. I used to be one of those kids. I used to just sprint or fight somebody just to fucking fight them. I used to fucking pretend to be a Power Ranger in my front yard and fight the putty guys with the stick, and I just I flip a stick left and right, catch it, fucking do front flips and shit in my front yard, just fucking around. And some dude came up and said, "Hey, bitch, I bet you my friend can beat your ass. I bet you he can." Okay, then we fucking fought. I put the stick down, and we fucking fought. Right? And then sure enough, my parents came out. I fucking ran inside and fucking. Anyway. Oh. Okay, so apparently it didn't show or unshowed or something. Something happened right now. I don't know what the fuck, but something happened. Okay. I don't know where. I don't know when. But I know that I'm still recorded, and I don't know. But anyways, that's it. Be well, be happy, be safe, take care. God bless, Godspeed. I deleted my what's it called script, so this video is the final version. So peace out. Um, don't let God bless, Godspeed, take care and be loved, be strong, be awesome, be alpha, be engaging, be listening. Stop, read more books, but get your head out of the book. Bret Weinstein, like what the fuck is wrong with you, fucking idiot? And you of all people should not be leading people. You should be the one fucking making sure that when fucking Kevin jumps, that he knows what the hell he's jumping into. That's what it should be. He should be getting all the bitches, and you should just get the leftovers. Or you should get the ones that decided to study, and then that's another video for another day. Another idea for another video for another day. Boys, that's it. Be well, be happy, be safe, take care, be loved, be strong, be amazing, and all that good stuff. And don't let the door hit you, where the Lord split you in peace.